YouTube, Electric Adventures here. Sorry I haven't been watching many videos and also haven't been uploading many videos, but we've had a very nasty viral flu down this neck of the woods, so my whole family has had it. And this voice you're hearing now is better than it was, so at least I can talk for a little while without cracking out completely, although we'll have to see how we go, because this is probably the longest that I have talked for a period of time. And I've got a few things to cover for the month. There's probably more pickups than normal, other pickups than normal. And I apologise if I cough. My great cousin has been going around and to various garage sales and the charity shops and even our local Big W store. And he found me this. Now it is for, actually let me check what it's for. It's for PC. It's Cruise for a Corpse. And a bit of a family in joke because our last name is Cruise. Sorry, it's upside down. Oh, all the back's always upside down. It's a point and click action adventure. I haven't had a chance to give it a try yet. We actually have a product range catalogue. We'll have a look at that in a sec. We have a reference manual, a magic code wheel. It's always good for these to work. And we have 3.5 inch discs. And I think you got that for like $1, which is awesome. Getting these old PC games. Yeah, they look to have published. Like I saw Monkey Island in there, Space Quest, and on the Monkey Island page again. There we go. See Secret of Monkey Island, Indiana Jones Adventures. So they published a lot of the big classic PC games. And another one that he found, he was going. Our Big W stores are obviously clearing out their current gen stock, getting ready for the new generation of stuff. So tossing out a lot of stuff. I don't have Geometry Wars Galaxies for the Wii. He found himself a copy, texted me and said, oh, he found this pile of stuff, he put a pile of games, and I said, oh, I'll have a look later. But I really wouldn't mind a Geometry Wars if there was another one there. And he asked, and they found the packet of the disc and manual in their drawers, but they couldn't find the case. So I need to sacrifice, some important game like Mary Kate and Ashley Adventures or SpongeBob. And well, actually SpongeBob, it's fairly important to keep SpongeBob games. Barbie probably. Game to get a Wii case to put that in. I have not had a chance to do that because I have been so sick. I have hardly played any games at all. About the only thing I have played any decent amount is one of my Vita games. So, alright, what else did I get? So I try and not lose the rest of my voice. Now, I went through all of our Wii games, Wii U games, 3DS games that we've gotten in recent times, and got all the Nintendo points, and finally got enough up to get the current redemption, which is the Game & Watch Collection number 2. Now, it only physically came in the mail today, so it's still in a shrink wrap, and so I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But it looks like it's got the Octopus game, which was really cool, and Parachute, and just by the icons on the back. So yeah, Parachute, Octopus. I don't know if it's got any more than 2 games, but anyway, that'll be cool to try it and have a go. And it didn't cost me a cent, so it was just going through finding those points in various things. And then my daughter's birthday, as I've been promising her, I got a Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS, which she's been playing constantly, and she's apparently almost finished. Now the trouble is we've only got one 3DS in the house, so I'm not 100% sure when we'll be able to get it off her so we can play it ourselves, some of the other members of the family, including myself. Now I also got another 3DS game because EB Games were basically having a Friday the 13th sale. So even though I was so sick I could barely move, I went in and they had a whole lot of items listed on the email they sent me that were all like 50% off. And I've got a number of the items here. And a number of items on the table at 50% off. And also if you purchase the items between 1 and 2, in other words the 13th hour, they'd give you another 13% off. And also the funny thing was there was a JB Hi-Fi store just opening in our shopping centre, so there was actually nobody in EB Games, and I was the only person that loitered around till 1 and then bought all this stuff. So this was half price and then another 13% off that. So I can't remember the exact price of it because I was sick, but I thought I'd get her another game to play, and she was actually quite excited about that and interested in that. Obviously I haven't played it myself. Now this particular EB store has had a copy of this up on their shelf, full price, like $100, so $99.95 for ages. None of us have ever played it, and I always thought it was expensive, so I never got it. And obviously the only thing it doesn't have is the special gold Wii remote that came with it, but it'll work with any remote, and this is the special edition one. It is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and she was extremely excited about getting this. So this was half price, less another 13% of this copy they've had for it. So it was like $48 they'd marked it down to, and another 13% off that. So of course it's the special edition, so it has the music CD as well. And she's actually really excited about that one. So obviously we can play that on the Wii or the Wii U, so I might actually have a better chance of being able to play that sooner rather than later. Now in the same sale, they had brand new copies of Bioshock Infinite for $24. So I got that for $24 less 13%, so just under 20 for a brand new copy of Bioshock, and I haven't played that one. I played the first 2 games in the series. And then they've got all their Vita games marked down, so I got a few of those. So this is Rayman Origins, not Legends, so it's the first game, but still should be a good fun platform, and I don't have a platformer game for the Vita yet, besides the 10 free download games, of which at the moment I've only played Wipeout. But I'm actually quite looking to play on that. I've almost finished, I've been playing Dungeon Keeper and I've almost finished that, so that's probably what I'll play next. Do like Lego games, and this is a new one. I don't know anything about it, Lego Chimera. I think it's more like a battling type game. Sorry, they're a bit shiny. I'm not getting focus. For a second. Anyway, now Lego games don't come with, by the way, the games are in a game case, but amazingly some Vita games do actually come with a manual. I'll show you that. Rayman Origins comes with a manual. And last but not least, we actually have this for the PS3, and this is one of the main reasons I don't get to play the PS3, because my daughter's been playing this on the PS3 all the time, is Lego Lord of the Rings, and I thought, well, you know, it should be at high enough quality, and I seem to find that if I get games for the Vita that I'm able to play them, because I can hide myself off on a corner or pretend to be social watching TV with everybody else with my earphones in one ear and play the Vita. So I might finally, I've started a game of Lord of the Rings Lego on the PS3, I just haven't gotten very far. And for different EB games, I've played all the games in the Resistance series, but my Resistance Fall of Man, the first game, was a copy borrowed from my brother-in-law, and I really enjoyed the game, so I wanted to get a copy, but it went to Greatest Hits ages ago, and I hate getting Greatest Hits copies. And I found this for $12, and I thought, well, I did have a few stickers on it, which I've already cleaned up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just a completionist thing. I'm not sure I'll ever play it again. And another game that I've been on the lookout, but the price doesn't ever seem to drop. And I'm a cheap person. I don't want to spend a lot of money on modern games because I don't spend a lot of money on old games, so I don't see why I should spend money on the modern games. Now I did manage to play through a fair bit of Oblivion, so I thought it was about time I got a copy of Skyrim. So I got that for $20 because they had marked it wrong. All the other copies were still $38. But this one, someone put an old sticker on it, and they allowed it. So I got a copy of Skyrim. Now the manual does have a little crease in it, so it's not in there at the moment because I've got it under some heavy stuff flattening it out. But there's nothing. Here's a second-hand copy. There's nothing wrong with this because it's got a couple of fingerprints on it. But yeah, I'm still not 100% sure when I'll start playing it. It might be more closer to Christmas when I get some real holidays. If I actually do get some real holidays, that would be nice. And also I've had a couple of queries. My recent large box pickup video, I'll be doing some gameplays over the next week or so. Starting with the 3DO, which does work, so very excited for that to work, so because I've never used a 3DO before. So I've had a quick game of one game, but the next time I sit down it will be to record that video, so that'll probably be the very next video after this one. Now the only real gameplay I've been doing this month has scoreground.com. If you don't know what Scoreground is, it is a worldwide online repository of high scores, not just in arcade but all systems as well, and it's based on peer validation. To submit a high score you need to video your game and upload the video, and then it's up to peer review on whether or not people to validate that. That's to get around the current main high score thing. You have to send physical videotapes in, very cumbersome. And the Scoreground site is run by Greg from Arcade Impossible, who I met at PAX Australia. He's doing a very good job running that, and the site works quite well. So, and he's having promotions each month, or not necessarily every month or so, to try and get more scores posted on there. And during September, Metal Jesus Rocks wanted everybody to post their scores on Atari, so any Atari system, Atari 2600, 5200, Atari 8-bit computers, and I'm quite good at Atari games, so I actually set, I think, more than a dozen high scores. And then during the month, some bugger went and beat my high score that stood for ages on Sequest on Atari 2600. So I had a nice strong cup of coffee, and I beat it. So let's see if I can beat it again now. So I quite enjoy doing that, and actually in my general game playing I have a little high scores books because I have nobody to play with and have a playing session with. The person I play against is myself, so I have a little book with high scores. So whenever I have a session, if it's a new game, obviously I write a new entry in, and otherwise if I'm playing another game, I try and beat my high score. So it's a way of having a mini competition with yourself. So I do the high score things. Obviously when I do it myself I don't tape it, I actually, while I was doing it, I felt a little pressured playing the games while taping, worrying about things like, is the memory card going to fill up, is the battery going to run out. So I solved the battery run out thing by plugging the camera into the PowerPoint. Memory card, you go get around. You're just going to make sure you stop after you've played a few games and take the stuff off. But as we're dealing with 8-bit consoles and things like that, a particular game's not going to last for hours. But that was a lot of fun, and other than playing a little bit of Vita, was probably the majority of my game playing for the month. Although if you look closely on the floor, you can see a few things out, and the Coleco's out. I do take part in the Atari Age Coleco competition as well. But being so sick, I missed the submission for the previous game, so I missed out on the points for that one. But I've already done a score in the current game, but I'm going to try and beat it before Saturday, before I upload it. Okay, I'll cough to clear the voice. Now the next thing is I'm very proud that my EA Classics, last month I showed you my prototype. but the retail release has come out and run its course, and I got a real retail copy of both the US and international boxes. So they have slight differences, as you can see there. I haven't actually opened them or taken the cartridges out yet, and I'm not going to do that on camera because I don't want to damage the boxes. But as you can see, Colecovision do a wonderful job at the quality of their releases, and I'm just really happy that they're my games and they're out for the physical Colecovision. As far as getting EA Classics out on other systems, so obviously I'm going to re-release it for the MSX. All those games were originally available on the MSX, but only on tape. And I'm going to release, and they also were available for the original Spectravideo machines, the ones that preceded the MSX. I have finally ordered the circuit boards, so I finally worked out how to use a circuit board design program and ordered the circuit boards for the original Spectravideo. That was the one that I already had a bit of a circuit layout in a computer form. So I decided to go through the process of getting a dozen boards made up for that one and getting them sent through. I'll get them sent through and make up one and test it, and if I've got that right, then I'll use the same process, just different connector for the MSX and order the ones for the MSX, and then we're on the way. And then future releases, I won't need to worry about that. I can just use the same stock. I do need to buy myself one of those little multi-tools though, just for making minor adjustments to the plastic cases for the original Spectravideos, because there's one of the tabs down the bottom needs to be taken off, so you can only put it in the Spectravideo slot one way, and it gets in the way. So that's the only thing I've got to adjust there. Now, up and coming games. I have actually done a bit more work on my next games. Now, there's my my game back in the day, Pixelist, which actually sold the most copies out of anything I ever wrote, and financed my young, late teenage years with a fancy car and a holiday and everything like that. I am spending a bit of time on enhancing it. I've written myself a new sprite editor. And I'm making, I haven't quite finished a new tile editor. The main parts of the games will be the same in the original game, because it was limited to 12.5K. There wasn't a lot of variation in the enemies. The enemies always look the same. I'm going to have a couple of differences of enemies with different attack patterns, and the end of level boss for each of the 3 levels was the same. So we're going to have 3 different bosses. And level 3 was chopped short because I ran out of room, so that'll be back to its I found the original notes, and that one will be spruced down. Also, I found a more complete version of the game Cavern Fighter, which was a game I was working on that I never released. It's pretty much a take on the arcade game Scramble, and it works reasonably well. If my editing skills are up to par, you may see some video of it up near me at the moment. Collision detection is working on the first 3 levels quite well. It doesn't have a hell of a lot of sound, like the sounds are really basic, so I'll need to redo all of those. And the Cavern 6, where you reach the end of the cavern and you've got to destroy the reactor, that bit hasn't been written yet, but I'm much happier now that I found a much more complete set of source, because I was always sure that I'd written more than what I saw. But I found another version of it, and it's working really well, and as I said, I've got it working reasonably well on the Coleco build, so they won't be too far off. Just once again, haven't been doing a lot of work on those because I've been too tired and too sick, so hopefully on the mend now. Now, I didn't do a response to any videos out there because I haven't watched enough videos, or skipped through them. Obviously video responses don't work, but you can still respond to a video, just that you need to use the annotations to link back to the original video in your video. So I've got nothing in particular. Well, I have been watching some of the Gran Turismo 5 videos out there. It actually looks quite interesting. I may get it one day. It's just the not having enough time to play in-depth games like that getting a copy of Skyrim is bad enough. That's a time destroyer, that one. So anyway, I hope I haven't waffled on too long and you've enjoyed what I've been talking about. Please continue to rate, subscribe if you like. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.